What's up, guys? I'm just doing a tag video. WSGTTV just tagged me with a top 5 characters, games, and consoles. These are just solely opinions. I just thought of these real quick. I didn't think I was gonna get to this video so quick, but let me just get started. I actually have a little list here. But for characters, let me just get started quick. Top 5 characters. Like I said, this was thought real quick. I know I'm gonna be missing out some of my real big favorite characters. But number 5 is gonna be Vice from Skies of Arcadia for the Dreamcast and for the GameCube. If you haven't played Skies of Arcadia, it's an excellent RPG. Number 4 is going to be Samus Aran. You already know her. Metroid, pretty much. She's awesome. Every single game, she just gets more and more awesome. I mean, I can't wait for Other M to come out. Okay, number 3 is going to have to go to Ken Masters from Street Fighter, because Ken is the man. And every game he's in, he's the man, and every game he's not in sucks. I'm just kidding, but yeah, Ken Masters, awesome. He's always been one of my favorite characters in Street Fighter series. Number 2, I was gonna say Frog from Chrono Trigger, but because I love that character, but I just realized I have no Resident Evil characters in here, so I'm gonna go with Jill Valentine from Resident Evil 1. With her shitty voice acting and all, so I'll go with that. And number 1, Link from Ocarina of Time. Even though he's not much of a character that has tons of development in the story, he doesn't speak, so you can only do so much with a character that's not gonna speak. But pretty much that's my top 5 characters. Now let's go to top 5 games. Top 5 games. Alright, so here goes. 5 is gonna go to Perfect Dark for the N64, because I spent countless of hours playing that with my cousins and friends, and that game is just phenomenal. And I believe it's on the 17th or 18th, it's dropping on Xbox Live, and if you're gonna be on Xbox Live, hit me up, because I'm gonna be on that like crack. I'm aiming for perfect, dude. I'm aiming for number 1. Now, number 4 is gonna go to Resident Evil 1 on the PlayStation 1 Director's Cut, just because that game I can play it and play it and play it, and I just never get tired of it. It's just that awesome. Number 3 is gonna go to Phantasy Star Online for the Dreamcast, GameCube, Xbox, whatever system you want to play it on. But Phantasy Star Online, you haven't played it, it's not an MMORPG, it's more of a multiplayer online RPG, similar to modern day games like Monster Hunter, but it's just, there's so much replayability in that game. It's just, and that's what I look for a lot of times. Number 2 is going to go to Metroid Prime, because bringing it to 3D just modernized the series. I didn't think it was going to be possible for them to, be able to translate Metroid into a 3D platformer, but they did it excellent. Like, the music in that game is practically hypnotizing. It's just amazing. It has such an amazing soundtrack and an amazing atmosphere that most games attempt to achieve and never even get close. And number 1, it's gonna be cliche, but Ocarina of Time, just because it's one of those games that I could keep playing and playing and playing and playing and just never get tired of it. So let's go to consoles. Now, consoles was really hard, because I am less of, I tend to less pick out a console, for its abilities, rather than the games that are gonna be on it, because honestly, we're all gamers. That's what we play. We play games. We don't, if you're gonna pick a specific console, you're gonna be missing out on other games. So I last generation, this generation, and the generation previous, I've always had every console that's been out on the market. This generation, I have the 360, the PS3, and the Wii. I love them all, but most of all, I love the games. That's what really matters. So number 5, I'm gonna do a little switch up. I had it backwards, but number 5 is gonna go to the SNES just because RPGs, man, they just had so much good games, action, shooters, shoot 'em ups. It was just amazing. Fighters. Super Nintendo just did it, like they really did. Number 4 is gonna go to GameCube. If you've seen my other videos, you realize I'm a pretty big GameCube fan. There's not much of us out there. I know WSGTTV is a big GameCube fan as well, and I respect him for that. But yeah, GameCube. If you've seen my GameCube collection, if you haven't, go check it out because there's some definitely awesome titles that I have. Number 3 is gonna go to Xbox 360. Xbox 360. The reason why I'm going with Xbox 360 is because they just flat out revolutionized online gaming. Point blank. They just did it perfectly. From the ground up, that console was built to be an online gaming console. It's just they did it up. And that's more of the reason why I tend to favor the 360 a little bit more than the PlayStation 3, only because, you know, from the ground up, the 360 was built for online gaming, and it was just the direction that gaming was eventually going to have to take, and Microsoft just did it. They just did it first, and they're doing it better. So I'm gonna go with 360 for my 3rd place console. 2nd place is gonna go to NES because that's the first console I technically had. I have over 100 games for it, and I just love going back to it because of the difficulty. Like, you barely see any games that are that difficult anymore. But it's definitely awesome. And number 1 is gonna go to the Sega Dreamcast. Sega Dreamcast, hands down, no other console comes close to the amount of enjoyment I got out of the Sega Dreamcast. It just had so many great titles, and I wish that, you know, Sega would have stayed there just a little bit longer, just a little bit longer. That's all I needed, but can't really do anything about it. I mean, it's the past now, but it'll always live on. To all the Dreamcast fans out there, definitely stay up, because Dreamcast is always going to be number 1 in my heart and a lot of gamers that are out there. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for the tag. I'll see if I tag some people. I'm not too sure. This is my first tag video. But there you go. All right, Untouchable Force. Latest.